So I'm here early this morning after a night of playing Diablo 4. And by a night, I mean, not 12 hours of playing Diablo 4, I mean 1 hour of playing the game. And considering I've bounced from the game in about 10 to 15 minutes in every single season thus far, that's a pretty awesome achievement by the Blizzard developers. And while I am going to be cooking a much longer video on this topic that is going to include my impressions after 1 hour, 10 hours, and yes, 100 hours, because I have decided to give D4 a fair shot, I'd like to talk about my initial reactions here on this Extras channel today. Because not only has Diablo 4 motivated me to pump iron, as I've been doing in the early morning hours here, it has also motivated me to really forget all of my preconceived notions about games, if the developers are willing to change them drastically. And oh my goodness, especially compared to last season, the game has changed drastically. So here's what I initially think. So I played for 1 hour last night, okay? I log into the game, I start a druid, immediately tells me to skip the campaign because I've done it once before. I get that, lots of cinematics, don't want to go through them again, okay? Usually what happens is I run around the open world, killing a few monsters at a time for 15 minutes, and I'm like, this is horrible, this is boring, or I'm pushed onto the seasonal quest line and it's horrendous, and I just bounce. But this time, it pushed me to Helltides in the open world. And in Helltides, there are massive amounts of monsters, and there's lots of loot that you're getting, and you're getting levels, and you're killing everything, and I was a big werebear, and I've wanted to be a werebear for an ARPG for such a long time, and I was having a good time. I mean, it wasn't challenging in the slightest, even though I went to World Tier 2. I'm not in World Tier 3 yet, or 4 yet, obviously, because I started at first level, but it wasn't challenging. I was just killing monsters, and I was having a decent time doing it. And then I fought a boss for the first time 30 minutes in. It was actually kind of challenging. There were some other players in the open world. We collaborated and took down the boss. And then 5 minutes later, the same Blood Siren or Hell Siren, whatever, boss spawned. And some player killed it in less than 2 seconds. It did like its immunity phases. And then they just killed it instantly. So that was great. We'll have critiques on that. But otherwise, I found an awesome legendary or unique item that changed the way that my pulverize worked, and that's the ability I wanted to build around, so it's almost like Blizzard knew that's what I wanted to play with. Kind of cool. And I was just slamming stuff. Nothing was living for more than a few seconds. You'll see that in my greater review in, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it takes me to get to that 100-hour mark. But they have definitely changed up the game. So for all of you Path of Exile players waiting for the next Path of Exile 1 League, Path of Exile 2, Last Epoch coming out on July 9th, I do encourage you, log into D4 if you bought it. It won't cost you anything more, except maybe 15 minutes if you bounce in 15 minutes. But if you do end up enjoying it like I did, you might have a game that you can blast for a few weeks now until the next Last Epoch season or until we get some new Path of Exile information. So like I said, I'm going to have a longer video about it because I was a D4 hater for the longest time, and I finally just washed away all of my notions and said, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to try it out. Stop it, try, stop being so ridiculous. And I enjoyed myself. And you might too. So go ahead, give it a try. Let me know what you think about it now in the comments below. All right, that's all for today. Talakara Exiles.